Go ahead, sir. Please expound upon that.
What would you like me to explain?
Anything you want. Anything you want.
Yeah, I believe it's flat. That's it.
Biblically, no? Because it's in the Bible for you, right?
Yeah, the reason because it's in the Bible, not because some YouTube video or something. I don't watch these kind of things to find truth. And also my eyes. When I go outside, I see a flat Earth.
Yeah.
Go ahead, buddy. Go ahead, Frank. Go ahead. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Kung Fu.
Frank, what would you tell the airborne ranger who has been as high up and see the curve of the Earth? What would you tell him when he can see that the Earth is not flat?
Who can see when the Earth is not flat?
Yeah, an airborne ranger. They go up as high as they can as far as the heavenlies. And before they jump out of that plane, they can see the circumference of the Earth. What do you tell him?
I think if you go as high as how a plane can go, if you claim you can see the curve from the height of a plane, then you are actually lying to yourself. I don't think you can actually see the curve at that height. Because if you can see a curve at that height, then the Earth must be very, very small if it curves at the height of where you're looking. Because in order to for the Earth to be as big as we are saying it, as big as they are saying it is, you have to be very, very, very far away, way further than how high a plane can go. Because a plane is still apparently in the Earth's atmosphere. So that's not high enough to see curve. Does that make sense?
Not really.
Can I ask you?
What doesn't make sense about it, Kung Fu CJ? What doesn't make sense about it? Go ahead.
The reason is when I look at the China's visit to San Francisco, it didn't take them more than 10 hours to get there. But from the East Coast all the way to Asia takes almost a day and a half. You have to get on connecting flights. Whereas they only needed one flight to get from China to California. So how is that? How is that connection? If the world is flat, explain that connection.
Wait, you said wait, what happened?
Hold on.
All right.
Go ahead, Frank. Go ahead, buddy.
Can you name me those two locations from where to where and how?
From San Francisco to China.
San Francisco to China.
Yeah.
Yes, he's saying they flew across the Pacific Ocean from China to San Francisco, and it only took 10 hours, I guess he said. And he's saying that if the Earth was flat and you couldn't fly from China to San Francisco through the Pacific Ocean, right? It's not a sphere. You have to fly the other way because you're at the edge of the Earth or whatever. If you read the Earth like the map, again, I'm just saying what he's saying, you would take a day and you'd have to change flights and it would take way more than 10 hours. So can you explain how they made a trip that only works if the world is sphere going 10 hours and didn't have to go the 20-hour way the other way or whatever?
Okay. Before I actually answer this, is everybody comfortable with this topic of flat Earth?
Yeah.
Frank,
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, come on.
You should probably put me on the bottom because I'm also a flat earther.
There you go. Go ahead, Frank.
So, I don't want to be the main camera. I want to see everyone's faces as well. Yeah.
All right, go ahead, buddy.
China is very big. Are you aware that it's very big?
Yes, I'm very aware.
Yes. So when you say flying to China, I'm assuming he flew to the east of China, where Beijing is?
They flew from Beijing to San Francisco.
Yeah, that's straight across. That's straight across on the map. I don't know what map you're looking at.
What you're saying
Hold
is
on. Oh,
then,
Couple CJ, give him a chance to
go,
just
go,
answer.
go, 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 go.
Yeah, give him a chance to answer. I want to hear this. Go ahead. Go ahead, Frank.
That's my answer. It's just straight across. And I was gonna say, I don't know what map you're looking at that you had to go through an ocean or something.
Can I ask you a question? Another question about it that I'm curious with the flat Earth stuff. So, if the Earth is flat in the observable universe, we can see that the other celestial bodies are spheres. How does that math out? Are we the only flat object, right? Like, is Earth the only flat celestial body, and all the others are spheres? And why is that per se? And or is there something I'm missing, and they're not actually spheres?
Okay. So the to believe in the flat Earth, that title is more than just believing the Earth is flat.
Yeah,
By the way, that's the map of the flat Earth. So now it's more than just believing in the Earth being flat. It's also believing that there is no space, there is no outer space, and also the only thing that exists in everything that we can explore and see is only ground and sky. This information, I take it straight from the Bible, and there's nothing more than just ground and sky. That's my answer.
All right, before anybody responds, let me read this. Hold on, let me read the super chat real quick. Samuel with the $10 super chat says, I can take a ball in my iPhone's flashlight and replicate day and night cycles of a spherical Earth. I challenge all flat earthers to try and replicate day and night cycles using a flat piece of paper instead. Go ahead, guys.
They have. Hey, I want to ask Kung Fu CJ. You said
Smarty
Kung Fu CJ. You said an airborne. What kind of aircraft? Tell me the exact model of aircraft that an airborne ranger is flying up to, and at what altitude? Aren't they mainly in helicopters and shit like that, and C-130s?
Actually, my ranger friend said he was actually in a plane, and they had to, basically it's part of your training, jumping from altitudes that are not comfortable, that might have thinner air, less oxygen.
Halo jumping, he's talking about.
That's any altitude above 8,000 feet. My aircraft that I flew in on average would be 10,000 to 12,000 feet. We would have to pressurize only when it went above that. So, but if you look at like the spy plane, the U-2 spy plane that flew at 60,000 feet, along with the SR-71, those are two of the most high flying aircraft that we know of. But those aren't going to have airborne rangers in them. Airborne rangers are hopping out of helicopters and C-130s that are not getting that up there.
In their training, ranger training, yeah, they do. That's the reason why Fort Stewart has has an Air Force base very close by, which is called Hunter Air Force Base. It's part of their training, and I'm just going by what he told me.
Okay, because there's just no aircraft. There's just no aircraft that, I mean, it's only going to be again, it's only going to be Air Force models of planes that even have the capability to reach those kind of altitudes. At which case, most of the aircraft windows, the one that I flew in, most of the windows in the back were circular. Right, you only had two, one on each side. They were circular, and so it's that fisheye lens concept where, you know, it would maybe, if my plane could possibly make it up that high, it was just a twin-engine turboprop, but let's say it could make it up to 60,000 feet, like the U-2, like the SR-71 spy planes, then even then it would still appear, I would see like it's a fish-eyed lens. Aircraft windows are circular in nature, so it gives that fish-eyed lens approach. But no airborne rangers get in any aircraft that's going above, you know, probably 30,000 feet or more. They're jumping out of C-130s and helos, man. That's what they're doing. They're not in Air Force planes. There's no Air Force plane that's large enough that flies at high enough altitude for airborne rangers for a whole company of airborne rangers to be hopping out of.
You're underestimating Air Force and the Army. I'm just letting you know that.
Well, sir, I have an immense aviation background. That's why I'm asking you what model of aircraft. If you told me which plane it was, all I have to do is look up that plane. It'll tell me what its limitations are, what altitude it normally flies at what point it pressurizes the cabin, You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. Yeah, as you know, with helicopters, they don't pressurize the cabin. You don't need to. They have like, it's open. They'll hang out the door and chill because the average helicopter is not going above 9,000, 8,000 feet, right? Again, and if you had an aircraft, there could be research, but yeah, I mean, an airborne ranger wouldn't. And now if you said you had an Air Force friend that was flying in experimental aircraft, okay, these are gonna be aircraft that have an X before their name, right? Or something like that, or something that's known to fly high as hell. Let's say maybe like a B-1, B-2 bomber, something like that. Then maybe I'd say you're cooking, but either way, they still gonna have circular windows. If you're looking out just like you would a passenger in an airliner, when you look out, it might have that circular sphere. But even an airliner, you guys have all flown on passenger airplanes. When you look out the window, you're not seeing no curved horizon. You're just seeing clouds. It doesn't curve from even up there. And the average, Bob can tell us obviously the average flight level.
Hey,
Yeah.
CJ, you believe in the Bible, right?
Ask him a question.
The Bible says the earth is flat.
Where?
It says there's a
I
firmament.
need the address.
It says there's a
before I can
firmament.
believe
Genesis. It says there's a firmament.
Firmament.
Okay, real quick. Well, hold on for a second, guys. Frank is new to the panel, and I'm glad that he's here.
So, Frank,
please expound further upon the Bible and its references to the flat Earth.
The Bible overwhelmingly represents a flat Earth. It never talks about a sphere in an outer space. This whole concept is all new. It's a whole new thing. And the Bible is it's very, like, if you read the Bible, it's very obvious that the earth is flat. There's a dome. The sun, moon, and stars are all within the dome. And they are the ones that orbit within the dome. Like, the Bible is very clear on this whole world, how it is. But the world, like I said previously, the world only consists of sky and ground and nothing else. There is no outer space where there are other worlds out there. There is only one world God created, and that's this world, which is sky and ground.
So what do we see when we see? So, for example, I've had a telescope since I've been a child. My dad bought me and my brother our own telescopes. What are these other celestial bodies we see when I look through the telescope?
If you look at them closely, CT, they're not even spheres.
I got them, y'all.
Well, CT, he's not the only one that. Okay.
All right, go
Frank
ahead.
is new to the panel, man. Hold on, give him a chance. Go ahead, Frank.
They can also, I'm pretty sure they can also answer for me, but I will say, I also have a telescope, and when you look up into the night sky and you see what you're seeing are stars, like literally just stars. I've zoomed in onto them and I see stars, and some stars have different shapes, different colors. They're all flicker in different ways.
Yep.
But they are all within our dome.
So how big is this dome? So then that begs to differ with all of space inside the dome. How big is the dome? Right? Like, if you're saying, I'm not arguing any, but you're saying that all the cosmic bodies that we see and the celestial bodies we study in space exist within this firmament, correct? That's what you're saying?
No, because I never said all of space is inside the dome. I'm saying there is no space.
Okay, I'm sorry. I don't have another word to define it so I can present the question to you. I'm not disagreeing with your premise. I'm saying the stars, the moons, the planets, the other things we call solar systems that we observe with telescopes and radio telescopes, right? All that stuff. Are you saying it is contained within the firmament?
Do you want me to answer with a yes or no? Or
yes or no.
Just yes or no.
Okay, so then what is exactly inside the firmament? And then with that stuff in that, how much space does the firmament need to take up?
Space is the ocean, Gimpy. Space is the ocean.
Space as in physical, like, occupancy, not space as in outer space. I mean, like, if there's a firmament, it's something, it's solid. You're saying there's a shell, there's a dome. It has to physically take up space then. And you're saying things exist within it beyond just the flat earth, things we look up in the sky, which I'm still trying to understand how much of what we see in the sky is in the firmament.
That's the ocean, Gimpy. You looking at the ocean. Go ahead, CT.
You got the floor, Frank. Go ahead, buddy.
So you mentioned solar systems and all these other things that, according to the flat Earth belief, these don't exist. So that's why my answer was no directly, without elaboration.
What am I looking at in the sky then that you say is inside the firmament that you called stars and the sun?
Yeah.
What are those?
So they are literally stars and the sun. But you mentioned solar systems. Now, the whole concept of what a solar system is, literally the word solar means sun. So you're talking that there is another sun with its other own planets that's inside the firmament. That's why I have to say no to this answer.
I'm sorry. Let me be more accurate. What is a star then? Like, define a star, because I know what I define a star as.
I know. You define a star as a sun.
Yes.
Now, to me, a star, according to the scriptures, is just a luminary. It's just a little light that flickers in the sky, just a luminary. And according to the scriptures, God created millions of luminaries
in the sky. Because
Samuel says we'll never become a type 1 civilization at this rate. Thank you so much, Samuel, for the $5 super chat.
Well, isn't a star, being a sun, by definition, a flickering ball of light in the sky?
No. A sun is, according to scriptures, I'm speaking on behalf of the scripture.
Again, I understand.
A sun is a sun, something that emits light and heat, and according to the Bible, says it's the greater luminary. And it says God created two great luminaries, the sun and the moon. Now the others, they're just luminaries. Then they don't have the title of being greater luminaries. And that's the differentiation.
So Frank, eventually the dome,
yes,
in theory, would end somewhere.
Yes, it does.
Okay. And when it ends, what is outside the dome?
Water.
Water. Okay.
Yeah.
Is it infinite water, or how does that work?
This is a question I cannot answer, because this is beyond the text now. So what we know from go ahead.
Do you ever theorize as to? I mean, do you have your own idea about the water outside the dome?
The only thing we know about the water outside the dome is it was used to flood the world.
Okay.
But we don't know anything beyond that. To know something beyond that, we have to be God ourselves. Like, because the only thing we can know or believe is what's written down. And the number infinity is beyond our mind. Like, we cannot understand infinity. So therefore, we don't understand what this water is outside, but we know it's water.
So the water that is in the oceans, right? That water is replenished by the water outside the dome.
No.
Oh, it's not. Okay, so that water.
They're separate waters. So there's water outside the dome, and there's water that's inside the dome, which is the water that we see.
Mm-hmm.
And the water that's outside the dome, it's we don't actually see it. We probably see the barrier of where it's holding it up. That's why the sky looks like the ocean sometimes.
Okay.
Because there's water above this dome. In fact, the humans have seen this water one time, where if you read in Genesis 5 or 6, God opens, so that apparently this dome has windows and doors. And God opened these windows, and then the water fell in. And that's how he flooded the world during the Noah situation.
Really? Okay.
He didn't flood the world through condensation and rain with clouds. It actually says he opened doors and windows of the firmament so that water just fell in.
Really? Okay.
And that's how he flooded the whole world.
So why? I'm sorry. Go ahead, RLM. You are a flat earther as well, RLM.
Just because of what's in the Bible.
Okay.
It just makes more sense to me. I'm nowhere near as learned as Frank is. I appreciate him because he really gets into the detail of it. He did a great diagram and everything. So, but I don't know enough to debate it. Let's put it that way.
So Frank, if there is no infinite universe, like a lot of us believe, right? And again, I've never been into Earth's lower atmosphere. I really don't know. I mean, you could be absolutely right. So aliens do not exist. Deep space does not exist. Why are we presented with this information from scientists or astrophysicists and astronomers? Why are we presented with this information?
I can answer this very simply. The world we live in, it doesn't belong to God. It doesn't belong to Jesus. It doesn't belong to us. Mm-hmm. It belongs to Satan himself. And Satan is the god of this world right now. He controls science, education, politics, governments, law. He controls everything. So as long as he's making you believe what God doesn't want you to believe, he's doing a good job. So that's why this world is full of hate and sin and lies. Because everything you learn in this life, in this world, is going against the Bible, literally. Like gay marriage, space, aliens, law, everything.
And where does Satan reside? If Satan is the root, or is Satan omnipresent, or how does Satan work in from your perspective?
Sure. So Satan, he's a divine being, as in, like, in other words, he is an angel. He's a fallen angel, and angels have incredible speed, incredible intelligence, and incredible strength, and also they are immortal. They cannot die. So this angel, Satan, with his power, he can go anywhere he wants at instant speed. He can come to me right now and completely tempt me to do something evil, and I could possibly do it. That's how powerful he is. And you're asking me, where does he reside? I believe right now he's sitting on the throne on Israel and making all this happen. Who knows?
He's sitting on the throne of Israel. What does that mean for people who in the audience?
Honestly, he's just like I was speaking metaphorically there.
Right.
I believe he's actually, like, he's in the world. He's doing a good job. He's only good job of what he considers good. And but he is in the world. I can't really say exactly where he is. He's probably somewhere tempting someone else right now.
Frank, I heard you last night. You appear to be very, very intelligent, far more than I am. I can't speak for other people, but I would like to believe that the moon landing happened. I would like to believe that Voyager 1 left the solar system. I would like to believe that one day we would go into deep space, but you're saying that these things are just fake. So the question I have for you is, and again, this is going to be I don't even know why I'm asking, but just attempt to answer it for me.
Sure.
How did NASA successfully pull off the moon landing and lie about it from your perspective? Because obviously they lied about the moon landing, right?
Sure.
So how did NASA pull off lying at such a level where nobody has come out and said it was a big lie? We filmed it. Go ahead, buddy.
Okay. Well, once again, the God of this world is Satan. He's the one that pulls this lie. And if he can pull it off, he can convince anyone of anything. Yep. He can convince you that when you look at the sun, it's not the sun that's moving up and down. It's you that's rotating on the earth. He can convince you of something that goes against your own senses that God gave you.
Yeah.
So God gave you the ability to see, to feel. He can convince you the opposite of what you feel and see and hear. That's how powerful this guy is. This guy is not a joke. He's actually, like, dominating. He's the God of the world. Do you know what the title is? Do you know what it means to be the God of the world?
I do not know.
People. Yeah, you can manipulate people's senses. That's how powerful this guy is. Adam walked with God and he spoke with God. He saw God. Satan deceived him. So what makes you think he can't deceive you? This guy is so strong. Don't forget how powerful he is. And
before everybody else gets in, let me read the super chat. Samuel with the $10 super chat. Imagine looking up at the night sky in awe of the expanse that towers over you, but limiting yourself to whatever was written in a book 2 millennia ago. Apes on a rock. Guys, get the like, subscribe to the video. Frank, before people start asking you questions, I would like to ask you real quick.
Sure.
Where do rockets? Obviously, I believe that rockets go into outer space, right? But then again, I wouldn't know because I mean, I'm just only watching what they give us, right? But where do these rockets go from your perspective? Because you believe we live under a dome. So where do these rockets go?
My straightforward answer is I don't know.
Okay.
But I do believe that they just go up and then they just curve and go back down. Like from what I've seen.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. It does look like a curve, and you know what? I will admit, I do think it's horse shit when they say, "Well, yeah, it has to sling off the gravitational pull of the Earth." I'm like, get the fuck out of here! Why did it just go straight up? They say it has to do like a slingshot. So, but you're saying that slingshot is really just the rocket going down into the ocean.
it just goes back down and falls to wherever, and they have to obviously say whatever they can to say, oh, like they have to come up with all these excuses like you just brought up just to say that actually went into space.
Right.
But I don't think anything can go through God's barrier, the firmament. Like that's it. It's just, this is solid. Like we cannot go through it.
That's right.
I have a couple answers for you, CT. I actually looked it up. If you guys are familiar, my grandfather messed with rocketry in Antarctica at one point while he was in the Army. It says here that they like to do it a lot in the Antarctic regions so that they can keep for studying the auroras, plasma physics, and atmospheric escape. I'd like to address the first point, though. You said, why do you believe this? You want to believe it because all of us are addicted to fantasies, whether it's the fantasy of being underage and banging the hot teacher or the fantasy of space. I think about how many genres of movies, how many genres of video games revolve around space. You want Star Trek to be real, but it's not. I'm sorry to tell you. Yeah, I mean, but at this point, you do admit that it is strictly pure fantasy, right?
Of course.
So, and that's all you have to convince Frank and I and RLM, about space. Again, there's no real images, videos of space, stuff like that. So until there's compelling evidence to believe something, why would we believe it? That wouldn't make any sense. There's no need to believe it unless there's evidence. If you give me evidence, I'll believe it and shut up, and I won't say the Earth is flat. But all pictures of space are just CGI. But you were really wrapped up in this. You reference space almost daily. Every time you're pissed, you say, "We're not going to make it to Alpha Centauri," or "Oh, that movie, no." And Star Trek. We can tell that you really love space. Both of my parents worked for NASA. They love space too. They love all that shit from back in the day, all the space shows and shit like that. But it is just strictly that, a fantasy. Now, I do want to say that there is a differentiation, an ideology even amongst flat earther. What he's saying about water being outside of the firmament, that's my first time hearing that. I'm not going to say that I believe that. I always thought that they were outside of the firmament myself. But when you look at things with a telescope, CT, and you zoom in on stars, they just show up as these blurry little, white, shiny,
like plasma almost.
Like they don't show up, or maybe even spurts. But they don't show up as spheres when you look at them with a telescope. I look at stars all the time. They don't come up as.
I was more or less talking about planets. I wasn't talking about. Yeah, I mean.
Who told you they were called planets?
Well, the same people that tell them it's the same people that told me.
My dad and my school teachers told me this.
No, they did. NASA told you that.
Well, I mean, they told. Yeah, NASA told the schools, and the schools told us. I mean, whatever, man. Why it's the same. I wasn't arguing with Frank. I actually want to hear Frank's perspective. I mean, again, I'm always willing to admit I don't know. But VRC, what are you getting at with Frank? Go ahead.
No, I was just simply going to say that there's, as far as that being water, when I look at the blue sky, as far as that being water, that that one is news to me.
And if you read the Bible, it says it's water above and water below.
Above and below.
God split, and He made the firmament is water above and water below it.
Yeah, but the Bible also says you should die if you lie to your parents one time and shit, So I mean, it's kind of,
Well, you can't pick and choose what you believe from the Bible, right?
I'm just telling you guys, whatever flat Earth argument that I ever made thus far moving forward, I'm not going to reference the Bible whatsoever. I'll just do it with my own. I can just tell you the U.S. Navy navigates at sea with flat Earth maps. I had two friends that were quartermasters. That's what they told me straight up. So I'm not going to use the Bible at all. I'll just use my real life method and observation. Again, none of you guys can, you can't show us any images of space that aren't CGI, that are actually real. They say there's thousands and thousands of satellites that are up in space. Where are those satellites being constructed? What are different models of satellites? Which each different model of satellites capabilities as far as GPS ability, reception, stuff like that. Until all that stuff is confirmed, and NASA is just another government agency that doesn't have to answer to any of your questions. You guys can email them right now. They're going to tell you more or less to F off. They're going to say you're not important enough to know, even though they get $2 billion a year in tax dollars. So,
where's the unedited pictures of the firmament?
Oh, man.
It's obviously transparent. It's a transparent thing.
He's a smarty arty. Go ahead, Eric. Go ahead.
It's a transparent thing. Why wouldn't you just outer
believer of the Bible?
I mean, I'm like a Christian, but I'm like CT here. I'm kind of like a cultural Christian. I go to church sometimes, but I think Christianity is like cucked and it's like ruining Western need. All it does is just turn you into a pussy at the end of the day and makes you feel guilty for busting a nut. So it's I'm kind of mixed, at the moment. Mixed feelings towards it.
Lukewarm, yeah. I wanted to say. Sorry, did anybody else want to speak?
Go ahead, Frank.
It's okay with what you're doing, like trying to observe the world without the Bible. That's okay. But I will say this: like you are up against not man, you're up against an actual divine being here, and he can manipulate all of your senses. He can convince you that you are living in space. Like he can. That he's much greater
than me because I know the Earth is flat, brother. I mean, I already know.
I think Frank is talking to us who believe in
general.
The concept.
No, I was actually talking to off Aaron C. No,
he's on Aaron C.
I actually don't believe it's flat. I think we both don't know it's flat.
It's flat, man. I guess you're right. I guess I can't say beyond a reasonable doubt. Like if you were to say beyond a reasonable doubt, maybe I'm just like 89, 90.
You're convinced. Yeah, you're convinced it's flat. Yeah, but to know something is to be beyond it. So we're not beyond this world right now. So we only believe it's flat according to what sources we have. So I believe the Bible says it's flat. That's why I believe it's flat. But I can't know it's flat. I have to be bigger than it to see that it's flat.
Right.
So it's
why doesn't everybody who believes in the Old Testament believe the Earth is flat?
Frank, you just said you walked outside and you believe that it's flat from with your observation. You said that without the Bible.
I believe.
So you don't even need the Bible.
There you go, Gimp.
Yeah, belief. Not know.
You're saying it's in the Old Testament. I'm just wondering, a lot of people besides you.
You know how y'all are, Gimp. Y'all want to pass that confusion. Here you go, Gimp.
I'm sorry. Did I? It's a
Frank. Bobby wanted to know: are antibiotics the devil's medicine? Go ahead, Frank.
What do you want me to say? Is antibiotics the devil's medicine? I don't know. I don't know.
No, brief usage, long-term abuse can. It destroys your gut biome. I can tell you that personally. If you overuse.
Why does Satan sit at Israel? Why there? Why not? Kinshasa or
Satan don't sit in Israel. He sits at the Vatican.
Guys, can we please, man? Let me talk to Frank.
Fair.
Frank,
wow.
why do you think specifically Satan, from your perspective, sits in Israel?
Okay, well, I could be wrong, but from what I read, it does say that he sits on the holy place.
Okay,
he's going to sit on the holy place and act as the truth.
Yeah, talking about the Antichrist.
Yeah. So right now he is acting as the truth, and everyone's believing it as the truth. No matter what he teaches, it's considered the truth. So that's why I believe it's Israel, probably, possibly.
Oh,
he's right though. There's no way to know for sure. CT.
I don't, like I said, I don't know.
We have is just like almost as much as we have more ammo than you guys. I think it's a globe. We definitely have more ammo than you guys. But as far as beyond a reasonable doubt, you know what I mean. It's still kind of. But until there's compelling proof, I just don't see why any of you would believe anything. People are going nuts in the chat. Like, why
we're actually trying to listen to Frank, and nobody's challenging Frank. We want to hear what he has to say, bro. Nobody's challenging him. We're curious to know what he believes.
It's not Israel. It's not Israel, though.
Yeah, it could not be Israel. It could be the Vatican. It could be anywhere. I just said I think it's Israel. Like I could be wrong. Like you could be right. I don't know.
There be multiple places.
Isn't there like another pope, like a dark pope? That's like the real pope.
That's the Vatican for sure. Black Israel.
If you look at the seat name, then you know it's the Vatican. But go ahead. Yeah.
Frank, do you believe the Earth is 6,000 years old?
Yes.
Okay.
What?
You just let's hear him out.
Yeah, it's 6,000 years old. Yeah. Is there any other question? Is there any further questions from that or?
No, I don't have any. I'm listening to you, man.
I believe it's 6,000 years old because according to, once again, the scriptures, it teaches a 6,000-year-old Earth. Not exactly 6,000, but around there, like 6,100, 5,900. It's around the 6,000 mark.
Is it that?
So So physicists and scientists have been lying to us for a very long time, saying billions.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, they lied to us about a lot of things, like, you know.
Yeah. How the hell would you know that, CT? Oh, it's 1 billion in 23 years exactly, sir.
Carbon dating already been.
How would you know
Carbon
that?
dating is a lie. Everybody knows carbon dating is a lie. Come on.
I can't see it being that young. Like,
Why not?
I don't know.
It
doesn't seem realistic.
Yeah, but T, that produces another problem. If it's billions and billions and billions of years old, and according to the heliocentric model, we're hurling through space, wouldn't have like 50 asteroids hit this bitch and completely devastated it by now? Wouldn't it not even exist? And since I'm on that, to help Frank out here, what really debunks it for me, I think, what makes me a confirmed flat earther is, of course, the lack of space, actual footage, confirmed reality. And the heliocentric model, guys, CT wouldn't mind. He doesn't have to do it. I'm just saying, if you guys go on YouTube, look up, it's just a quick little YouTube short, the heliocentric model. You're taught in school the heliocentric model. This is beyond laughable. All the planets rotating around a sun, and then the entire solar system is hurling through space. Right. At what speed? Once you hear that, it's just game over. There's nothing. You guys can't counter that at all. So.
I agree.
Yeah, try to counter that. Whoever's not, try to please try to counter the heliocentric model. I beg you.
Frank, before Stoic and Kung Fu get in, I grew up in a Baptist church, and I got my ass slapped one day when I was like 10 years old because my Sunday school teacher, she said that dinosaurs didn't exist. And, telling a kid that dinosaurs don't exist, man, that's some crazy
taking away
work.
Santa.
Yeah, taking away Santa. And she was like, bow! She slapped the dog shit out of me. But why did they lie about dinosaurs? Because even I'm skeptical of dinosaurs. Why did they lie about dinosaurs, Frank?
They or him?
They are scientists or paleontologists.
So, to lie, to convince the world, to brainwash the whole world, it's not as easy as humans think. So it needs to be prepared from thousands of years ago. So it all started in the Garden of Eden with the first temptation. And from there, the lie has to grow and grow and grow. So truth, the way truth works, the way truth spreads is 1 + 1 + 1 +. So I will tell someone, then that person will tell someone. It's always 1 + 1 + 1. And the way lie spreads is not 1 + 1 + 1. The way lie spreads is the number keeps doubling. 1, 2, 4, 8. A lie spreads so rapidly,
That's true.
So, like by the time the lie hits, by the time the truth hits 10, the lie is already like probably 20 times more than it. Like it's already like ridiculous. So Satan has to prepare these lies from the beginning, so that people that live and then die, and then the new generation rise up. They rise up in the lie. So then the new generation after that rises up in the extra lie, and the new generation rises up in the extra lie. Now it's been 6,000 years, and now we have the generation now living in a world where the world is completely just full of lies now, like everything.
Indoctrination.
Everything. So now, like the only, like I've tried to do it without the Bible, and it does not work. I think the only way you can do it is with the Bible.
Yeah.
So you can't actually like. So now the Bible looks like a fairy tale to the world.
That was the whole point. Yeah.
Yeah. It actually just looks like a fairy tale. It does not work with the. It does not work with how the world thinks. Like Frank, how we all. Yep. Go ahead.
Satan had a head start to prove Jesus was never going to be real.
Hey, could I read some figures?
You don't need footage from space to understand the Earth is round.
Smarty.
Once again, go ahead and replicate day and night cycles using a flat piece of paper and a flashlight. Let us know the result.
People have done that. Hey, Samuel, people have done that. There's plenty of flat Earth channels on YouTube. They've done that. They've done plenty of models. They've done vacuum tests and stuff like that. But CT, if I could just read some figures here. This is Comedy Central. Just
before you read the figures.
Oh, my bad.
There you go. No, you want to read the super chat, buddy? Go ahead.
I'll read it. Norman Nation, $1.99. Pull up the live feed from space. It's on YouTube. Oh, come on.
Smarty, Artie. Come on, Norman.
Come on,
Smart
Armin.
Hey, I want to read some numbers though, and this is what you believe. If you don't believe in, what we're talking about, this is what you guys believe. This is Comedy Central right here. So the heliocentric model, the whole shit.
Real quick. You notice, even though we believe in the infinite universe, none of us have tried to debunk anything Frank has said. We're just curious to know what he thinks. He's very polite. He's not forcing his belief on us. So.
All right, I'll be nice. I respect your guys' silly views. I'm sorry. So here's the orbital speed. Check this out. So the whole setup, guys, remember we're going around, all the planets are going around the sun, different directions, whatever. The whole shit is flying through space at supposedly 67,000 miles an hour. And then they say our axial rotation is about 1,000 miles an hour. And then it says the galactic motion. The sun and Earth are also moving around the center of the Milky Way galaxy at 1.34 million miles an hour. Guys, if you can't tell that just like some kid playing around, some 12-year-old playing around in their little fantasy after watching Star Wars made those numbers. So we're flying through the space, not just Earth, the solar system. Solar system, the whole setup, as you know, remember you make the setup, as a mobile or something. The whole setup is flying at 67,000 miles an hour, and you see all those, but you see the same star constellation literally every night. Every time I go fishing, I see the same ones every night. I can look at there's Orion, there's the Seven Sisters, there's a Little Dipper, Big Dipper, the North Star. It's like, dude, okay, if I'm moving at 67,000 miles an hour, we should be hitting one of those stars. I mean, every couple seconds we should be. Well, since we're moving through the galaxy, the galactic motion is. I'm sorry, the whole galaxy is moving at 1.34 million miles an hour. Is that what it's saying? We should be hitting stars left and right. Like a star should have hit Maine today, Florida today. I mean, Bangkok. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense.
Kung Fu CJ and Stoic. Go ahead. Go ahead.
If the Earth is moving, all those other objects are stationary.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
You said that we should run into all these other things in space as we move at this ridiculous speed. Is that because you're saying those things are standing still while we're the only object in all the universe moving at that speed? Or is it because what you're misrepresenting is called the universal constant of motion, and all things in space are moving exactly in sync at the same time at this speed? That's why we have oddities like comets. Again, you also pick these numbers like they just sat down and did it. No, they had to actually be fact-checked by their peers using.
I just Googled this. This is NASA. This is NASA, sir. This is NASA, sir. Good try. This is NASA. So let me get straight.
Back in Egypt, when they were studying stars with math, in Greece, in Rome, in Persia, and Babylon, we have
a Stone Age shit. They didn't have any real tools.
Mathematics to the stars long before NASA and conspiracy theories about space were being spun. Yes, people believed all sorts of crazy things about the universe, but the one thing that we try and use in science is called the scientific method. Why? Because it's replicatable. You make a theory, you try and demonstrate.
I know what the scientific method is. I got you, but Gippy, so you explain this to me.
Theory, and then you give it to someone else to try themselves, and when they do it, they get the same result or within the margin of error result.
Well, I can't try this out. I can't make a solar system.
It's observable and provable in the natural universe. So again, we can prove that the things we see in the sky are planets, that they're spherical and they spin on axes. We also see stars moving through the sky, so we can tell that we're moving at a constant rate around our own axis. The stars don't